Do you suspect you might be dealing with thyroid imbalance? You might have all the symptoms. Maybe you've been to your doctors and they tell you that your thyroid is balanced, but yet you're still overweight, losing your hair, and you know there's something going on with your thyroid because you're researching it. How about if you are already been diagnosed with a thyroid problem, you're taking medications, but yet you still have all the symptoms, or maybe they just got a little bit better, but now you're taking the medication and it seems like it's not working for you. Today, I'm going to tell you why. We're going to explain to you how the thyroid works. Why is it maybe you've been misdiagnosed? But not only that, what are your solutions? I'm also going to tell you a little bit about at the end of this presentation, the next 10, 15 minutes. It's not going to take long for me to explain this to you, in which is going to make completely sense of why is it that you're dealing with your symptoms. But I am also going to give you a solution. I do have a online questionnaire that's going to talk about systems imbalance. And you can really dictate if your thyroid is imbalanced or not by just the questionnaire. From there, you'll take it and we'll walk you through our solutions, how to deal with it. But before we do that, I am going to tell you how your thyroid works and what is it that's going on in your health and what we can do different, right? How can you change your life? How can you live your better life than what you ever had before? How can you achieve your goals and really do what God expects your life to be about? So I'm going to share my screen and let's get started. And let's get started understanding how is it that your thyroid works. So let's begin by understanding how that works. Now, your thyroid is a beautiful gland, butterfly-like gland right here on your neck, right underneath your Apple's atom. All right. Now, one of the most important things I want you to remember about your thyroid is that your thyroid affects every cell of your body. Okay, it is the energy to all cells. So that's how important this gland is. So let's talk about how is it that your doctor diagnoses the production of your thyroid. But before that, let's identify some of the symptoms that you might be dealing with. All right, how about hair loss? How embarrassing is that? You might go bald. Now, in a woman, now you're thinking about buying, wigs and putting other extensions and things like that. Well, yes, you don't have the strength and energy to grow your hair. Thyroid imbalance. Tired, sluggish, can't do anything, no motivation. Life is just really sad for you, and that's very tiring. It affects your life. It affects your family's life. It affects your hobbies. It affects your coworkers. It affects your production. It is very important. And yet, some of you guys might be taking medications and still dealing with, or maybe some of you guys have a thyroid balance and you're dealing with this. Mood swings. You're angry one minute, happy another. That's very common. Depression. If you can't find happiness and you want to be in a dark room, yes, this is what's going on with depression. It's correlated to your thyroid. Insomnia. Can't fall asleep, can't stay asleep. Definitely thyroid. So also there's all other systems out there. Okay. Remember, the thyroid, it is the energy to all cells, especially when you're burning fat. So if you are overweight and you can't seem to get rid of your weight, even though you exercise, you diet, you starve yourself, you lose a few pounds, and the next 2 or 3 meals, you get it all back. Could that just be because of my nutrients and my foods? Not really. It could be your thyroid. Wait, but my doctor said that my thyroid is normal, so I know that's not my problem. That's exactly what I'm going to tell you right now. How does that thyroid work? And you need to understand it. That way you can understand, where do I come from to help you? And how can I bring things into your life that's going to change your life? Because now you're educated and you understand what needs to be done. I will take you through the whole process, okay? So let's begin by understanding, how does your doctor diagnoses your thyroid? Okay, every doctor that I know, and the way they teach us is that we need to look at the production of the thyroid first. And the way it works is that there's a little gland inside of your brain called the pituitary gland that's going to produce a hormone called TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. A lot of doctors use that as the gauge of how your thyroid works, but it's not even telling me what my thyroid is producing. It's just what tells the thyroid to produce or not. That's all its job. It's a communicator. If your TSH, okay, it's high, okay, it's going to talk to your thyroid. Your thyroid produces a hormone called T4 or thyroxine, right? So if your TSH is high, it means your T4 is low. TSH job is to tell the thyroid, hey, you need to produce more T4 so the TSH can come down. That's the signal. So now in a normal thyroid, your T4 comes down, you become the TSH and T4 within the normal range, and boom, that's how your thyroid is produced. Now, for some reason, your thyroid is not producing, for example, okay? Your thyroid is not producing T4. That's when the TSH goes high. So it works opposite, TSH high, T4 low, hypothyroid. So now, if that's you and your doctor tells you, yeah, we did the test and you have low thyroid, we're going to give you medications like levothyroxine, Synthroid, and other medications, and that is a synthetic T4. And by taking that synthetic T4, T4 goes up and TSH comes down, and then you have a normal thyroid. That's how some of you guys are balancing this thyroid, okay? Now, for some of you guys, the doctor said, yeah, those two TSH and T4 looks great. They're within the range, right? And when the range is, it's a whole different topic, but we'll talk about that later. Now, opposite to that, if you have hyperthyroid, where your thyroid is hyperactive, my goodness, it is bad, because now you can create a lot of palpitations, a lot of bulginess, you just can't sleep. Oh my goodness, it's not good. So your TSH is going to be very low and your T4 is going to be very high. The most common procedure for your T4 to bring it down is going to be to get rid of the thyroid. That is the solution. To once you get rid of the thyroid, then you don't have a T4. You're not coming out of your skin now because T4 is low to nothing. Now they give you the synthetic medications, remember, because now you're hypothyroid, levothyroxine, Synthroid, and now you're back. And that this is how the solutions are. And I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of how the doctors and how we've been tested to identify if your production is not good. Okay, now let's talk about the activation, because no doctor talks to you about that. Everything we learn is about the production, right? How does my thyroid is producing? And once if my thyroid is producing, then we're good to go. But what happens if my thyroid is normal, but yet I'm still having all my symptoms, right? Dr. J, I'm still losing my hair. I'm still overweight. I'm still tired. Why? My doctor, or you're telling me that my T4 is normal. I'll never tell you that, but the T4 is normal and your TSH is normal and you should be okay. Your medications are working. No, that's not it. You see, that's not where it stops. This is where most doctors are missing it, is because now we're going to talk about the activation of the hormone from the thyroid that nobody pays attention to, and which is the most important thing. Now, your T4 is going to produce 93% approximately of T4 hormone, thyroxine, right? Now, this hormone is inactive, okay? The activated hormone that every cell of your body needs is T3, but that thyroid is only producing about 7% of T3. Not even close enough to run your engine, not even close to run your body. You will not have enough energy if you're just creating 7% of T3. We need a lot more from that, but the cool thing is that we have T4. And from T4, we can make T3. So your T4 needs to convert to T3 for your whole body to function and have balance. Now, obviously, it's not being activated in the thyroid. Where is this T4 activates to T3? That's where I see a lot of my patients really turning the light on, saying, 93% of the conversion of T4 to T3 happens in the liver. The other 20% is happening in your digestive system. 20% of that is inactive or other tissues like reverse T3, but most of it is going to be gut and liver. You see, right now, if you're dealing with liver or gut imbalances, if you're dealing with, fatty liver, high cholesterol, you're dealing a little bit with, hepatitis, or you might be dealing with IBS, Crohn's, any kind of GERD, acid reflux, bloating, herniations, all kinds of issues here in your digestive system. Could that be the reason why you're not activating T4 to T3? Most definitely. Can your doctor tell you and your tests show that you have perfect TSH and T4 production more perfectly? Yes. Can you still have the symptoms of hypothyroid if this is an imbalance? Yes. Why? Because you're not activating that T3 hormone that is needed in every cell of your body. Now you are unhealthy, and every organ in your system, right, is reliant to be dysfunctional. So this is the reason why when we're looking at root of imbalance and root of dysfunction, I'm not here to see if your thyroid is producing, which that's every doctor's solution to you. And every doctor is looking at an individual organ because they work individually. Well, you see right now, they do not work individually. They need each other to create this balance and create this health overall. And we have to look outside of the box instead of the traditional health system. We need to bring a new paradigm to understand that the root cause of your imbalance might not come from just that organ like your thyroid. See, right now you just learned something different. You learned that your endocrine system, which is the thyroid gland, is affected by your liver and your what? Your digestive, circulatory digestive system is integrated to work with each other. One without each other cannot work. So this is the reason why most of you guys are dealing with symptoms, even though your thyroid is normal, or some of you guys have gone to your doctor and say, yeah, your production is good. Is the activation the most important thing? I hope that this has brought up a little bit of light into your life, that you need to do something different. I'm bringing this to you in a way that you can understand it. And I have this whole process of education. I have these programs and understanding how you can become healthier. If you're looking to really restore and repair your body, that's what we're looking at. You need to be understanding also that in the process of thyroid imbalance, 90%, especially in women, are the women that are really having problems with an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's or Graves' disease. See, you never hear about that. I have a whole slideshow for you on this, on the autoimmune, understanding how your own defense mechanism is attacking your thyroid. And that's the reason why you might have Hashimoto's or Graves' disease. 90% of the time, that's what you have. So we do need to understand beyond just the activation. Okay, now we want to know why is your thyroid not producing? All right, so again, understanding that. All right, now I know that you've already looked me up, but in my website, go to my testimonials, you'll find Penny. She'll talk to you about what she was dealing with. She was dealing with overweight, hair thinning, eyebrows disappearing, fogginess, couldn't sleep. I mean, there were so many issues, overweight. She was depressive. I mean, there's everything that we just talked about. She had it all. Once we look at the production, once we look at the identification, she had nodules. They were getting ready to get rid of the thyroid and do surgery, right? In 3 months after we identified where their issue was, because everybody's different, right? We need to identify your issue. If you can relate to what she was dealing with, this is the process. This is what you're looking for. And we've made it more easier than ever to really get help, get healthy. In 3 months, okay, Penny looked like this. No more surgeries, energy. She could just, it's just amazing story. Look it up. She came with her daughter. She was, I think, 11 years old, and she's dealing with other issues, couldn't sleep, a skin issue. We look at the infrastructure, where the root cause is coming from. And as we found out with Penny and her daughter, that the root cause was not just coming from the thyroid. There's a lot more issues here that what she was dealing with that was causing the problem to begin with. And until you take care of the root cause, okay, you will never get rid of your symptoms. But it's a great business to sell you supplementation and medications, because once you just start identifying the organ out of balance, you are stuck to a medication or supplementation or natural remedies for the rest of your life. That's not what we want for you. We want for you to restore. We are here to identify the root cause and how can you live a fulfilling life of what you're supposed to live like. How can you affect your family members? How can this affect your personal life? How can this affect your job? All these things that I'm telling you, you need to start taking action, and you need to understand how to do it. Because right now, our healthcare system is completely corrupted. It is dysfunctional. It's the wrong information, lack of information, and what controls our healthcare, insurance, pharmaceuticals, FDA regulations, and then we're thinking they're looking for, to protect us. And at the end of the day, they're really not, because all they're looking for is the money part, and that's not. Is not looking out for our interests. They're looking for their own interests. And as a functional medicine doctor, and even different than functional medicine doctor, I'm looking to see how is it that we can help you and how I can bring things together in your mind of all the research you've been doing. Because I know that if you're looking at me, you've already researched a lot of your symptoms, you've already researched your disease. And I just want to make sure to understand that I'm interested in finding out what is the root cause that's giving you disease. And that's the reason why it's important for you to understand how that works. I just spoke about a small area as your thyroid because that's the point of interest in which you're looking for. Okay, but remember, we do have a wrong, we have a dysfunctional system, and we need to really start looking out for our own. And that's what I would love for you to do. Start looking, chasing what is really making sense to you and what's going to change your lives. We have a lot of a testimonial that talks to us, but the way we do it to identify the infrastructure of imbalance, there are going to be 4 health systems that correlate the base of who you are in health. Your digestive system is the second brain. That's got to be working right. We have a whole understanding of webinar what the digestive system does. The endocrine system, okay, we just spoke about the thyroid, how that endocrine system, your thyroid, is affecting what? How is affecting the digestive system, and how the digestive system affects your endocrine system. Okay, we can talk about all the connections of all these systems, but a lot of the times, and I can tell you this, the way I've seen my patients, we're going to be looking at the digestive, your endocrines, which are your chemicals, your sex hormones. How is my adrenals, my stress is affecting me, right? Your circulatory autoimmune inflammation. How does this inflammation in my blood affects my autoimmunity, my disease? And how can I get rid of that? Right? They're correlated to the digestive system, your neuroendocrine system. Now we're talking about what? Your emotions, those chemicals in your brain that gives you the chronic disease like Alzheimer's, dementias, all these different bad things. And how is that working? And how the other system affect the production of that depression that you're dealing with. Listen, simple. Serotonin, for example, is a chemical neurotransmitter that is you're happy, your mood. It gives you happiness. If you don't have that, you're depressed, right? You go to your doctor, they give you a depressive medication. But did you know that serotonin, about 80% of that is produced in your digestive system? Have you ever heard a doctor say, hey, listen, you got depression, that could be a problem with your digestive system? You see, you'll never hear that. And that's what I'm bringing to you is the truth. I'm bringing to you the light that says, hey, let's find out, let's map your health out, and let's identify the infrastructure so your body can recover and restore itself. And that's exactly what I'm looking for to really change your life. This is the thyroid. Okay, we spoke about that endocrine system, right? Thyroid is part of that, but it affects so many other systems in which it could be the root of a lot of your diseases. So again, I want you to take action. And the way you take action is by, I have a questionnaire. Click on the button below. Do the questions, identify all the systems. I'm making this easier. I'm making it free. Find all the system. Which system is out of place? Where could the root cause be? And through that questionnaire, I will give you, and I will tell you which system is the worst to the best. And then I will tell you solutions of how to deal with it. And I will tell you solutions to do it on your own at home. We can do balance kits, which is basically all this testing to identify what's going on with you. And I will guide you through it completely online. I will even give you a 4-month educational process to understand how can you learn it. How can I teach you to fish instead of giving you the fish all the time? And this is what's going to change your life. If you are really looking to help yourself and get educated the right way and understand how it works, click below. Let's get started. Change your life. Reclaim your health. Okay? Live the life you're supposed to live. Live it to its fullest. Life is short. It wasn't too long ago that I was 20 years old. Where did it go? Right? So let's live it, and let's live it right. But to do that, with all the foods manipulation and all our world changing the way it is, we have to be whole, and we have to identify what is right and what is wrong. And this is what I'm bringing to you, and identify it within each of you. It's not a cookie cutter for everybody. It's not a diet. It's an understanding of an imbalance. And we're going to do that through labs. Science is not a guessing game here. I have those labs to provide for you so we can identify that, and I will teach you how to do it and what it does. It's not hard. Just take action. Right? This is Dr. J. Hope to see you again. God bless.